My name is Nines, and today I will be covering the United States tax brackets for the year 2020. Now, there are several different ways you can file. You can file as single, you can file married jointly, or you can file head of household. I'm going to start off with the standard deductions. For 2020, the standard deductions, if you are single, it's $12,400. So basically, at the end of the year, when the government knows how much you made for the whole year, you basically take $12,400 off the top of that. And for married filing jointly, the deduction is basically the two single deductions combined. So it's $24,800. And if you file head of household, the deduction is $18,650. Now for single, the first tax bracket, there are a total of 7 tax brackets. It's progressive. So the first tax bracket is 10%. So the first $9,875 is taxed at 10%. The 10% bracket for married filing jointly is 10% up to $19,750. The 10% bracket for head of household is up to $14,100. The next bracket is 12%. Single, it's your $9,876 up to $40,125. For married filing jointly, 12% starts at the $19,750 and goes to $80,250. For head of household, 12% begins at $14,101 and ends at $53,700. The next bracket, quite a jump, 22%. So for single, 22% tax bracket begins at your $40,126 earned and goes all the way to your $85,525 earned. Married filing jointly, bracket 22, begins at $80,251 and goes to your $171,050. Head of household, 22%, $53,701 to $85,500. Single, 24% is the next tax bracket. So single, 24% tax bracket begins at $85,526 to $163,300. Married, 24% begins at $171,051 to $326,600. Head of household, 24%, begins at $85,501 to $163,300. The next bracket is 32%. Single, 32% is $163,301 to $207,350. Married filing jointly, 32%, begins at $326,601 to $414,700. Head of household, 32%, begins at $163,301 to $207,350. The next bracket is 35%. Single, 35% bracket begins at $207,350 to $518,400. Married filing jointly begins at 35%, begins at $414,701 to $622,050. Head of household, 35%, begins at $207,350 to $518,400. The final tax bracket for ordinary income is 37%. If you're single, the 37% tax bracket is your $518,401 and above. For married filing jointly, 37% tax bracket begins at $622,051 and above. Head of household, 37%, begins at $518,401 and above. There is also long-term capital gains, which is money made from the sale of things such as property or other assets like stocks, bonds, and that's made by holding that asset for more than 1 calendar year. So if you have that item for 366 days and then sell it, it qualifies as long-term capital gains. For long-term capital gains, there are only 3 tax brackets. The first tax bracket is 0%. There is no standard deduction, just the first tax bracket is 0%. For single, the 0% tax bracket is all the way up to $40,000. You can make $40,000 in capital gains and pay 0 tax. Married filing jointly, the first tax bracket, 0%, is the single doubled. So it's the first $80,000 you make in long-term capital gains, no tax. Head of household, the first tax bracket, 0%, is up to $53,600. The second tax bracket is 15%, and if you're single, that 15% begins at $40,001 and goes all the way to $441,450. Married filing jointly, the 15% bracket begins at $80,001 and goes all the way to $496,600. Head of household, 15%, begins at $53,601 and goes all the way to $469,050. The final tax bracket is 20%. So back with ordinary income, the top tax bracket was 37%. Here, the top tax bracket is 20%. For a single, the 20% tax bracket begins at $441,451 and everything above 20%. For married filing jointly, that 20% begins at $496,601 and above. Head of household, the 20% bracket begins at $469,051 and above. Now for long-term capital gains, there is also a MAGI tax, marginalized adjusted gross income, of 3.8%. If you're filing single, that 3.8% begins at $200,000. So everything below $200,000 that you make is just getting taxed at 0 and 15. But then after the $200,000, there's that extra 3.8% tax tacked on. For married, that 3.8% MAGI tax begins at $250,000. And for head of household, that 3.8% MAGI tax begins at, again, $200,000. Now, what I find odd is that if you go to the IRS's official website, you actually can't find the tax brackets on the IRS website. Of all websites, I feel you should be able to find the U.S. tax brackets on the government's IRS.gov website. but from the handful of times that I've searched that website, I cannot find tax brackets there. I feel like the companies that help people do taxes actually have something to do with that not being able to be found on that website. But yeah, so I ended up finding all that information at taxfoundation.org. Now, if you'd like to start earning some of this long-term capital gains yourself, I have several links in the description, one to Robinhood, one to M1 Finance, and one to Webull. You don't have to use those links. What I would suggest is, if you're not in the market yet, if you're not in the stock market yet, dedicate a month to learning about the stock market. That's what I did. Finally, at one point in life, I decided I needed to get into the stock market, and I set a goal of a month to try to study the market. And after a month, I found a solid amount of the information that I had run across was all the same. So once I had seen that a lot of the information out there, it was all identical, I was like, all right, I feel safe getting into the market. So then I did it. I would suggest you do that, but, I'm just a random person on YouTube telling you to do that. That's all I got today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you learned anything, drop a like, subscribe, share it with friends, family, whoever. Thank you very much. Have a great day.